Thank you for investing your time into learning more about preparing for the unthinkable. As we get underway, there are a few housekeeping items I'd like to remind you about. First off, please be sure to mute your microphone during the presentation. If you have any questions during the presentation, please submit them using the chat feature located at the top right-hand corner of your screen. At the conclusion of the formal presentation, I will relay questions to our presenters in the order that they are received. After the presentation, all who are logged into the webinar will receive a thank you notification along with a special code to receive a 5% discount on future Knox product purchase through Protex Central. Today's presenters are uniquely qualified to provide the insights and best practices into preparing for the unthinkable. Sean Mullen is our President and Chief Energy Officer of Protex Central. Sean brings 35 years of industry experience to the presentation as an industry thought leader. In addition to his current role here at Protex, Sean also serves on the NFPA 770 Technical Committee on Hybrid Fire Extinguishing Systems and also as a former president of the Fire Suppression Systems Association, also known as FSSA. Today's co-presenter, Tom Grismer, leverages over 30 years of professional sales solutions expertise in his role as the territory sales manager for the Knox company. As we get underway, please remember to post your questions via the chat feature. Here's Protex Central's President and Chief Energy Officer, Sean Mullen.
Thank you, Tom, and thanks for that introduction. And special thanks to all of you who are joining us here on this webinar today. On behalf of Protex and the Knox Company, we want to honor the investment of your time that you're making today by staying on time and on topic. And just as a reminder, please be sure to mute your microphones. Even if you think that we can't hear you, we are hearing you. So if you do us a favor and triple check to make sure that your microphones are on mute, that would certainly help everyone who's on today's webinar. So I think it's fair that we can agree that the unthinkable never plans when, where, what, how, or who it's going to happen to. It just does. Floods don't care. Civil unrest doesn't care. Viruses certainly don't care. Economies don't care. Even fires don't care. Fortunately, though, you care. You care because you're attending today's webinar and you value factual information and real solutions. Now, aside from the information that we'll be sharing today, there are any number of resources with guides and tips to assist in planning for the unthinkable. Here are a couple that I thought you might like to look into. The first is FEMA.gov. Now, this is an excellent place to start, and it's the Federal Emergency Management Administration's main page, and it's an excellent place to start and a good resource site. Now, another very interesting site is infraguard.org. Now, I have found this to be a very, very helpful site because it is a partnership between the FBI and members of the private sector. Now, the InfraGuard program provides a way for seamless public-private collaboration with government that expedites the timely exchange of information and promotes mutual learning opportunities relevant to the protection of critical infrastructure. Now, with thousands of vetted members nationally, InfraGuard's membership includes business executives, entrepreneurs, military and government officials, IT professionals, academics, as well as local and state law enforcement officials, who are all dedicated to contributing to industry-specific insights and advancing national security and preparedness. So certainly you might want to check that site out as well. And finally, the Building Owners and Managers Association.org site, BOMA.org. This is another excellent source of best practices for building management industry as a whole. So I invite you to consider those sites as you seek to prepare for the unthinkable. There are three key goals that we would like to achieve during our short time this morning together. The first, get to know Protex Central and the Knox Company. Second, understand end user benefits of the Knox Trusted Partnership. And finally, learn about the variety of Knox solutions to secure your facility when preparing for the unthinkable. Now that you know our goals, let's get started. Protex Central is honored to be the country's first Knox Trusted Partner. It's a reflection of our company's dedication to its core purpose to be bound by ethics, committed to professionalism, and driven towards excellence. We like to say we're a 54 years young company and in the second generation of leadership. We believe it's a statement of commitment to our customers and the marketplace. Most of you know the value of having fire equipment products and related equipment, like the Knox box, listed with Underwriters Laboratories. But Underwriters Laboratories also provides listing of fire alarm installation contractors like Protex Central. Now, while this is not mandatory, we believe that our customers benefit from knowing that fire alarm related services that Protex Central provides are independently reviewed and verified by Underwriters Laboratories. Plus, it sets us apart as a trusted vendor in the marketplace. With our first 54 years behind us, Protex Central's continued involvement with industry trade associations and various regulatory boards makes a statement to the marketplace as a trusted leader in the fields of fire and security. With Protex Central, we like to say, protection is what you pay for, peace of mind is what you get. As a trusted provider, we offer design, installation, and service and maintenance on a variety of fire protection systems, including clean agent fire suppression, featuring Novec 1230 and FM 200, which are used in mission-critical applications where early detection, rapid suppression, and doing no harm are paramount. Explosion protection systems from IEP Technologies are used in areas where the threat of industrial process explosions place personnel and production at risk. Now, of course, the Knox Company and its new Trusted Partner Program, which we'll share with you shortly. Alternative fire suppression technologies such as carbon dioxide, dry chemical, and the newest hybrid technology from Victaulic, which is combining water mist and inert agent into a life-safe and effective fire suppression media. And of course, fire alarm and detection solutions, primarily from Notifier for a wide variety of applications for specialty detection, mass notification, or worldwide network systems designed to keep personnel safe when the unthinkable happens. Along with fire systems, we also offer a variety of security solutions, including closed-circuit television that leverages crisp images along with sophisticated software to meet the increasing expectations of personnel for rapid awareness. Security systems that provide detection and alarm capabilities for both exterior and interior applications. Electronic access control applications that can leverage cloud solutions to provide supervision, tracking, and coordination of employees in one location or across the globe. And finally, integrated solutions where physical security meets virtual security to provide a comprehensive approach to preparing for the unthinkable. Along with all these solutions, We also offer inspection and maintenance services, as well as 24/7 on-site service, mobile monitoring, wireless alarm communications, plus the assurance of rock-solid quality monitoring services from our UL-listed monitoring partner at Vanguard. Now, hopefully, you know a little bit more about Protex Central than you did before, but I'm really happy to welcome Tom Grismer to today's webinar and his introduction of the Knox Company. Tom?
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate being here this morning. Knox Company is truly the pioneer of rapid access. We're 45 years old, first generation, and women-owned. Knox holds multiple U.S. listings as a U.S. manufacturer and is far and away the market leader with over 14,000 fire departments as customers of Knox. We're excited and very pleased that Protex Central has become our very first trusted partner at Knox, as Sean mentioned, but there's even more to the value proposition of this relationship.
That's right, Tom. We like to think that we're going beyond the box, and it's our goal as a Knox trusted partner to deliver 3 key services to you who are on today's webinar, our end users. The first is to leverage the Knox brand with local service, local inventory, and knowledge of the local codes. Second is to educate the local market on all of Knox's facility solutions. Today's webinar is the start of that educational process. And third is to act as a consultant with building owners and managers to help them prepare for the unthinkable. So let's learn more from Tom as he shares more specifics about Knox solutions.
Yes, Sean, the Knox ecosystem. Allow me to share the ecosystem with you to kind of get a better feel and understanding of the solutions available in everyone's preparation for the unthinkable. Our commercial building rapid access starts and begins with the traditional wall-mounted Knox box you're all familiar with for critical entry key storage. It's a very simple process, and it virtually eliminates the costly forced entry damage that may occur or could occur when first responders have to move quickly. With the simple addition of tamper switches, you're actually notified if a box door or box itself comes under physical attack. We also have a remote power shunt box, which is a great tool as a communicator in powering down an entire building or specific power distribution points such as solar, wind, telecommunications, even a restaurant deep fryer. Powering down these types of appliances is critical for first responders and technicians. And furthermore, the NEC code is now explicit in requiring outdoor power disconnect capabilities in clear and accessible locations. The remote shunt box actually does just that. The new 2020 NEC code will require an exterior service disconnect for 1 and 2 family dwelling units. And until now, there has never been an NEC requirement for a service disconnect to be located inside or outside of the home. Knox has gate and key switches, which you're probably familiar with, which simply eliminate barriers that can cause delays with the emergency responders. There are more and more gated communities and estates all the time that experience a frequent amount of fire department calls responding to alarms, and unfortunately, many of those are false alarms. Jumping fences and running to the home is a tough alternative for a first responder. The padlocks. The Knox padlocks continue day to day to be a solid solution for first responders in a variety of situations. There are locked for lock gate access, storage yards, construction sites, just to name a few. And if you're not aware already, that daisy chain padlocks are a great fenced gate dual access option. Works very well. We cannot always afford critical delays when the fire departments are required to cut locks. Life safety is where those seconds truly matter. The Knox document cabinet is a tremendously large capacity wall cabinet that begins with emergency response plans, hazardous material warnings, safety data sheets, floor plans, and interior keys for locked doors. In so many situations, we found that critical first responders are in fact delayed in their building entry due to the on-site presence of hazardous chemicals. No one can honestly afford these delays when an alarm is sounded or a fire has started. The Knox elevator box, if you're not familiar with, is a ability to have gained immediate access for the first responders to the correct and calibrated elevator drop keys to open an inoperable elevator in emergency situations. It also allows access to other critical keys to unlock secured areas within a building without causing property damage and, of course, injuries from forced entry. In all reality, fire departments today just cannot carry all the manufacturer's elevator keys. And lastly, on the Knox ecosystem is the Knox FDC protection, which is a clear investment in safety and security for your commercial property. The fire department water connections, the FDCs, are standpipes, and FDC connections are the critical lifeblood to ensure high pressure water flow to your building's sprinkler systems. Too often a fire department runs into trash and debris in those critical connections, and we don't want that to happen to your buildings.
You know, Tom, this is a great review of the various applications and solutions from Knox that are traditionally in use. But would you please share a little bit more about some of the innovations that Knox is taking with key control security?
Yeah, absolutely, Sean. It's really an exciting time to be with Knox Company and Protex Central being our trusted partner in Iowa and Nebraska. The brand new E-Lock electronic system is a major step beyond our traditional work in developing the technology exclusively for fire departments. It's a fact we are learning of new applications and the types of solutions that can prepare us for the unthinkable. From schools, public utilities, to manufacturing, Knox is bringing forward electronic key control security to the marketplace. This revolutionary new E-Lock product does provide access in a variety of situations where security is obviously paramount. In remote sites where service, maintenance, and inspections take place routinely, secure access is vital. Standalone workstations or work sites, substations, and control boxes can also benefit from the E-Lock system, as the E-Key has been designed and built to function outdoors, all without local power. The E-Lock system doesn't just provide critical access, it also delivers a cloud-based tracking program for a full audit trail. It's an audit trail of what activity is going on in your company, where it takes place, and when. The E-key is multifunctional in addition in that it can be assigned to one user or accessed by many users. Its fail-safe security layers ensure that a lost key is nothing more than an inconvenience. The key does not become a problem when lost with dire consequences. No rekeying is necessary with the E-lock system. The actual E-lock cylinder itself is programmable and has its own signature. This process is contactless, highly weather resistant, and completely maintenance free. At Knox and Protex Central, we do hope we'll get the opportunity to share this technology with your firm as it is new, and we'd like to uncover your unique requirements and those requirements that we do hope to have the chance to meet. Thank you, Sean, for stepping up into our new Knox Trusted Partner Program as the first partner in the United States. With Protex Central, protection is what you pay for, and protection is what you get.
Tom, thanks so much. As a trusted partner, we also like to say that we're in the business to minimize barriers, ensure access, and provide trust in the Knox Company and Protex Central. Let's take some questions that hopefully you've been submitting in and hopefully that we can answer. Tom Reiber, what questions do you have for us?
Yeah, Sean, Tom, that's a good overview of how to prepare for the unthinkable. There are a few questions that I have been monitoring. A few have come in via email on a couple of people that weren't able to make the call here today. So tell you what, we'll go ahead. We'll jump from the start. Question for Tom Grismer. Tom, is there any annual maintenance items that Knox recommends for the Knox box and or padlock products?
Great question, Tom. Actually, the maintenance of our equipment from a hardware standpoint, there is no physical requirement for maintenance and no ongoing requirement for updating. The system, however, is set up so that a company like our partner here in Protex Central can be involved in annual or semi-annual inspections to ensure with the commercial owner that the critical entry key is involved and actually housed in the Knox box. But other than some minor maintenance in terms of maybe making sure the connections are there with the tamper switches, there is no overall maintenance specific requirements for the actual hardware.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. Sean, got a question for you. Person is asking, I have an existing Knox box that isn't currently monitored by our building fire or security system. Is it recommended by Knox and or Protex to get it monitored?
Good observation. And I would say that from a jurisdictional point of view, at least in the footprint that we operate in here in Iowa and Nebraska, there is no mandate that the external Knox box has to be monitored either for the tamper of the box position or the tamper for the door position. But clearly, it is a best practice. It's a best practice to look at the monitoring and supervision of that, the mounting of that box. And whether it is a new installation or an existing Knox box application, it is possible to retrofit tamper switches, at least on the doors, and if it's a surface mount, it might be possible to actually do one to monitor the box itself. But again, from a code perspective, it's not mandated, but it's certainly a best practice to consider.
Awesome. And we do have a lot of questions by way of monitoring and what have you. So next one that kind of came up was, actually, Tom, I'm going to pose this to you. Can my existing Knox box be retrofitted to have a tamper switch installed?
Yes, it can. Yes, absolutely. An existing Knox box can be retrofitted for a tamper switch, and we probably don't see as much of that as could take place, but I think just the knowledge of the capability of the
Okay, it appears that maybe we lost Tom temporarily here. Tell you what, Sean, I'm gonna throw another question your way. A question came up: are the notifications from the Knox devices for Protex central monitoring only, or can they be sent to others?
Well, yes, they can be sent to others. Our relationship with Avantguard, the UL listed monitoring service that we work with, can provide a variety of different notification platforms, including email, text, as well as phone calls themselves. So if there are others within a building's response team or management team that would need to know that the box has somehow been tampered with, yes, of course, there are any number of external notifications on that. I would also just point out, as long as this question of monitoring has come up, that in many instances we utilize the building's fire alarm and detection system to provide the actual monitoring of those switches. And so anytime those switches would change state, the building fire alarm would change state as well into a supervisory condition. So local attention is drawn to that fact, as well as the external notification that would be provided by the monitoring services.
Great, thank you. So since we lost Tom Grismer, I do see another question.
Actually, I'm here. Tom, can you hear me now?
Perfect. Yes, sir, I can. Yep. And so, question did come in: is the Knox E-key for fire department use only?
It is not. The E-key was originally developed for fire department use. It's actually been in development for in excess of 4 years, and initially hit the marketplace last fall for fire department use in a very, very rugged environment. The system was tested in a number of areas that, in terms of extreme weather conditions, both high heat as well as low temperatures. And of course, with fire department access and use and abuse, the system is well proven. The equipment today is new outside of the fire department realm, but with the potential of the E-key, the capabilities of the E-lock, we're moving into a new arena with the E-lock and E-key system today.
Great. Another question by way of E-key: what happens if somebody loses an E-key?
That's a great question, Tom. The E-key is set up so that it's got 3 fail-safe steps in terms of how it actually functions, from the battery life and the battery expectations, from the enabling point of view as far as what we enable that E-key and how long we enable it to be functional, and then lastly, master code, which is unique and is designed to actually open physically a box or a unit or a lock open at the point. The E-key, if it's lost, it will go dead and become no situation at all where it's going to be a situation where rekeying is necessary. The key will go dead, the master codes will be unavailable to use, and the key can be replaced without having any harm to the system. The key will also be deactivated by the administrator once we find out that a key has been lost. The administrator of the cloud program will go in and delete that key from inventory permanently, and that key will not be resurrected unless it's found. If it is found, it actually, from an administrative standpoint, can be reactivated. So that's not a bad thing if a key is located later on down the road.
Great, great, thanks. Sean, this is a question for you. Does Protex offer turnkey installation services for the Knox product line?
Yes, we do, and we actually have the factory authorization to do that. And in many instances, we have really, from a practical point of view, really acted more in a consultative role with the contractors who are securing these different boxes for commercial buildings and new construction. But we have performed turnkey installations on retrofit locations where facilities want to come into compliance and provide those provide the box with the keys in it and have fire department rapid access to it. But like I say, we also work with a lot of contractors and in a consultative role to make sure that they understand best practices for properly mounting the box. And that means the orientation of the box height, the distance and location from the door, these types of things that sometimes get overlooked. And then when the day of the inspection comes with the fire department, they sometimes scramble to get them in the right place. So we can provide both the installation as well as the consultative approach.
Thank you, thank you. And Tom, another question for you. We have a Knox box on the front of our building, but we do not have one at the elevator. Should we get one?
I would recommend it, especially for a multi-level building. Anything exceeding, I believe in a three-floor range. The elevator boxes are critical, and again, as I mentioned earlier, the fire departments do carry a variety of elevator drop keys for accessing an elevator door, but they just cannot carry all of the manufacturer's keys. They try, but they cannot. So an elevator box, it seems like an add-on or an option, but in many cases, I would consider it to be a requirement. We're starting to see in the municipal world a lot of the departments and municipalities that are beginning to require elevator boxes in new construction. So it's definitely a great tool and a good thing for life safety to have on board, and would highly recommend it.
All right, thank you, thank you. Appears that that's it for the questions. So on behalf of Protex Central and the Knox Company, thank you for investing your time with us today. Please be sure to monitor your inbox for a thank you email that will include your coupon for the 5% off your next Knox product purchase through Protex Central. That concludes today's webinar. We appreciate it once again, and we hope you all have a very good day. Thank you.